Hello guys and gals, and welcome to a Black and White IT Consultant's first series, Computing with Ease. This episode is going to focus on how to control your network. Okay, so first off I'm going to show you how to do editing the host file to block a specific website on a specific Windows PC. Let me clarify that this will only work with Windows PCs. Depending on the operating system, if you're on Windows 7, 8 or 10, it's relatively the same, there's just slight word variations. I assume Mac may have a similar process, and it possibly may be the same sort of process, but worded slightly different. Okay, so what we're going to do now is open up, let me show you from the start, we're going to open up the Windows tab, move over to File Explorer, which in Windows 7 it would be the Windows Start, and then you'd open up My Computer, and you'd be brought to this, which has your local disk drive. Usually drive C in most cases, but sometimes people change it. So click on drive C, scroll down to Windows, scroll down to System 32, and scroll down to drivers, and from there etc is the next move, and then you open with and Notepad. You will be brought to this. So let me just show you first. We go on to Google, and what we're going to use is youtube.com as an example. So the site loads, everything is hunky-dory. You highlight, Control C, and then you move on to the host notepad, and you type in 127.0.0.1. That's basically the local host, which is the computer that you're using. It's the same for everybody. And then you put the URL in, which in this case is www.youtube.com. Furthermore, you save and then close. This is a vital tip that I'm about to show you. If it doesn't allow you to save because the file itself doesn't have administration privileges, what you have to do is right click, properties, move to security, go down to advanced settings, and you need to click change, and you have to type in your username into this, press OK, that'll close down, then press apply, and you should see the change here, then press OK, and your user should be hopefully have all privileges, so that will allow you to save files when they're locked out. That'll work for any file. If you're locked out due to administration privileges, you can do it that way. Okay, so we've blocked YouTube. We have to close down the browser for it to take effect. youtube.com. So okay, let me double check that. www.youtube.com. Just resave it. And it looks like it's blocked now. It sometimes takes a couple of seconds once you close down the browser for it to take effect. And basically this is all it does. It just blocks a specific site that you don't want to be accessed on a specific computer. So say you've got children, you don't want them to use social media because they're not the right age. You could block Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff if you do so wish, and it will give them this screen every time they try to access it. Okay guys, and the next thing that I'm going to show you with Computing with Ease episode 1, controlling your network, is how to use Windows Firewall properly. And with Windows Firewall, you can block IPs, specific programs, and ports from accessing the internet outbound or inbound. And this is how we're going to get to it. On Windows 10, you have this little search the web, but it also searches your computer. On prior Windows, you click on the start button, and you should have a search button somewhere down in this region. What we need to search for is Windows Firewall, and then click, and you'll come to something like this. Right, you can also use it for monitoring, but you can set your firewall to monitor to automatically do certain things, but that's another video. Okay, so say we want to block Google Chrome. We can block the entire program by clicking this and go into Google Chrome, which is I have no idea. It might be in my PC files. Where are you, Google Chrome? Okay, so we can do this, and we can allow the connection. If it's secure. Basically, you can edit settings to your liking, and it'll establish whether or not to allow the connection to go through. And with this, you can completely block the connection altogether. Domain basically just applies when computer is connected to a corporate domain. So if you're using a VLE or something, this mainly applies for like laptops or like mobile devices that have Windows on them. Anyway, we can click this, just call it Google Chrome block finish. Now that's an inbound. I'm assuming Google Chrome shouldn't work. Okay, I think that just stops inbound from Google Chrome, so let's do the same again. Next, block connection. This should stop the app from working altogether, from accessing the internet. Okay, so now you click this, and it shouldn't be able to access the internet through your firewall, and as you can see, it doesn't work. No matter what you search, Google Chrome doesn't work. So let me just clarify. Inbound are things coming in from the outside of your network. Outbound is things coming out of your network. So if you want to test, if you followed it along and you've tested it, to delete you can just highlight, move over to the right and hit delete and remove the rule completely, and we click, we delete on the inbound, and then Google Chrome should be working again. There we go. And the third thing that I'm going to show you with Computing with Ease Episode 1, Controlling Your Network, is how to block IPs using the Windows Firewall. So, we load up Windows Firewall, we go to Outbound, New Rule, move over to Custom, Scope, and you can either put a singular IP address like 127.0.0.1, or you can do a range which requires, say, 127.0.0.1 to 127.0.0, say 29, and it'll block from 1 to 29 all of those IP address, so that includes 127.0.0.5 and so on, all the way up to 29. Once you've done that, it'll put it in this nice little box so you know that it's worked. This allows you to block remote IP addresses. This applies to people who use remote software, so it'll stop IP addresses from connecting through a remote service, which is a little bit more advanced. If you're using remote services, I'm pretty sure you'll know how to do this anyway, so I won't go into that. So you click next, and you can either allow, customize what can go through, or block the connection completely. And if you block it, it will stop that IP address from ever communicating with your specific machine through your network. So I hope that helps. Okay guys, welcome to the second part of Computing with Ease, episode 1, Controlling Your Network. And in this part I'm going to show you how to use your router to control your network, basically. Let me just clarify that every router is different unless you're using the same one as mine. The GUI will be slightly different, however the words will maybe vary, but they will be generally the same sort of meaning. And you can use that and fiddle around to do this, what I'm about to do, on your router. Also, just know that every edit that you do on your router will affect the network. So every device connected to your network will run by the same rules that you set on your router. The first thing that we gotta do is access the router. So open up a browser. If you don't know the IP to your router, you need to go to your router now, look at the back, and it'll have more than likely a username, a password, and the IP to access it. So what you do is in the top bar, you type in your router IP to access it. You'll come to the GUI where you log in. If you've gone and got your credentials, do that now. I would highly recommend you change the password just for security reasons. So you sign in, and with the Super Hub, it's nice and easy. Advanced settings, and then you get a list of settings that you can manipulate in order to make your network more secure and to the way that you like. So guys, once you're onto the advanced settings, you can go down to parental controls. Domain blocking, it's literally the same as what we shown prior in the Windows firewall. However, this blocks it across the whole network. So like, say you wanted to block YouTube, you would put www.youtube.com, add domain, and that would block it on every single device. However, I think you need to run a restart on your router before it'll take place. That may not be the case, but you can do this by, on the Virgin one, going to device management, reboot device, and reboot your devices. It may not be the case, but it sometimes is for a lot of the settings in the router. You could go to the parent controls again, go to keyword blocking, and this one is a little bit better, a little bit more smarter. You can put something in like violence, add keyword, apply, and then reset your router, and it will block everything everything on the web that has keywords in the domain as violence, and you won't be able to access it. However, it does have some downfalls. Sometimes sites say that there's something else, and you can go on them, and it'll show what you're trying to block. But in most case scenario, it does do a good job. So guys, what I'm going to show you now is IP filtering. I did show this prior using Windows Firewall, however, like I said, that is on a specific computer. It's a specific change on that specific computer. This will edit it network bound, so anybody who connects to your network will not be able to will not get hassled by this IP. So what you can do is either just say like Google Chrome, and you can probably find the IP for Google Chrome. Okay, loads of VPNs for some reason. Either way, right? You just put the IP in that you don't want. Let's just say Google Chrome is something like that. I'm pretty sure it's something ridiculous like that. Add, and then it will allow Google Chrome to connect to your network. Not like you would want to block those guys. Also, this is the more this is more like a parental tool. It's pretty cool. What you can do is you can add rules to when that specific IP address is blocked. So let's say Facebook IP. Okay, there's a number of IP addresses, so you will have to block these. This is actually not too bad. You could go from 13. It does change variantly. You would have to put all of these IPs in to get an indefinite result. And what you can do is, once you've got the, let's just say 127.0, we'll just make one up. We'll make an IP up. 111. We'll add that. If it'll let us. Okay, it won't let us because it's not a real IP. But anyway, yeah, you can edit IPs that you block via this, and say you get the Facebook IP, you add all of these in, and then you can set a time of when people can access Facebook. So say from 9 till say 7 o'clock, and then your household is a Facebook free zone from 7 o'clock till 9. And I think that's a pretty cool thing to manage people's internet access in a household, if that's what you want to do. Okay, everybody, and that's it with Computing with Ease for today. I hope everybody enjoyed the methods that I was teaching. I hope that you use it at some point, or if not, that you've learned something. And I'll see you in the next video.